Welcome everyone. In today's lecture, we will discuss circulation through the heart and body, focusing on pulmonary circulation, systemic circulation, and capillary exchange of nutrients and waste. This topic forms the physiological foundation for understanding cardiovascular pathology, shock, heart failure, and edema. By the end of this session, you should be able to describe the pathway of pulmonary circulation, explain systemic circulation, trace the sequence of blood flow through the heart, understand mechanisms of capillary exchange. The circulatory system is a closed loop transport system. The heart functions as a dual pump. The right side pumps blood to the lungs, the left side pumps blood to the body. Pulmonary circulation is responsible for gas exchange, whereas systemic circulation ensures tissue perfusion. Let us trace the pathway step by step. Deoxygenated blood enters the right atrium via the superior and inferior vena cava. It moves into the right ventricle, which pumps it into the pulmonary artery. After oxygenation in the lungs, blood returns via pulmonary veins to the left atrium. From the left ventricle, oxygenated blood is ejected into the aorta and distributed systemically. Pulmonary circulation begins at the right ventricle. Blood flows into the pulmonary trunk and pulmonary arteries. In the lungs, gas exchange occurs at the alveolar capillary membrane. Oxygen diffuses into blood and carbon dioxide diffuses out. Oxygenated blood returns to the left atrium via pulmonary veins. This is a low pressure, low resistance system. Systemic circulation begins at the left ventricle. Blood enters the aorta and travels through the arteries and arterioles. Capillaries serve as the exchange site. After delivering oxygen and nutrients, blood returns through veins to the vena cava and into the right atrium. This is a high pressure circulation. Arteries versus venous system. Arteries have thick muscular walls to withstand high pressure, whereas arterioles are the primary resistance vessels. Capillaries are thin-walled and specialized for exchange. Veins function as capacitance vessels and contain valves to prevent backflow. Clinically, venous pooling can significantly affect cardiac output. Capillary exchange occurs through four main mechanisms: diffusion for oxygen, carbon dioxide and small solutes, filtration driven by hydrostatic pressure, reabsorption driven by oncotic pressure exerted by the plasma proteins, and transcytosis for large molecules. Diffusion is the most important mechanism for gas exchange. The Starling forces. Fluid movement across capillaries depends on Starling forces. These include capillary hydrostatic pressure, interstitial hydrostatic pressure, and plasma oncotic pressure. The balance of these forces determines net filtration or reabsorption. Disturbances lead to edema formation. Clinical correlations. In heart failure, increased venous pressure raises hydrostatic pressure, causing edema. Pulmonary hypertension affects right ventricular function. Shock reduces systemic perfusion, compromising oxygen delivery. Understanding physiology allows you to interpret these conditions logically. To summarize, pulmonary circulation oxygenates blood, systemic circulation supplies tissues, capillaries are the exchange interface, whereas Starling forces regulate fluid movement. These principles are foundational for cardiovascular medicine. If you found this helpful, consider liking the video and subscribing for more high-yield medical education content.